a request is a request, and that we don't want each other to do something that out of guilt, fear, shame, obligation, or duty, doing
or
it
habit,
because you really truly want to.
Yes.
Right. And then when it clashes, then looking for creative solutions to meet both of those needs. So understanding, okay, you're tired and it's a long day, you were sick the day before, I couldn't imagine why.
And it was cold. It was in January. It was, no, maybe whatever it was. It was October, cold, raining. It was raining.
Right.
It was cold. I was shivering. I taught 6 hours.
Yeah. But in the heat of the moment, it was incredibly hard for me to remember my desire for wanting us each to be able to only do things out of what we really were moved and want to do. So that was a learning opportunity or a stepping stone for that.
But Michelle is good.
And actually, this was another, if we want to put on the overhead, we can see another time.
You might want to turn it. So
when I had forgot about wanting this.
This is the other way around, though. This was the opposite. When I made a request.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So this is my apology. I'm very sorry for not holding up our agreement that we want each other to be able to make requests and to support that.
In other words, I asked for something.
Okay.
I asked for. How dare you? How dare you ask me for? I don't want like what you're asking. What was I asking for? I forget.
What were you asking for? I realize I'm glad you requested, but
something
I'm
to do
not
about being on time. Yes, maybe something like I'd like to be on time. Oh yes, when we're going places, you didn't like that at all. When we're going places to prepare so you can get the address of where we're going and the right time. You didn't like that at all.
Oh, right, to do that before doing anything else.
Yes, when we're planning and going somewhere, rather than just checking things out on the computer to see what's for sale today.
Right, but what's behind that is not. I'd like the freedom to do, what I would like to do. So, but. Yeah, so that was my need for not having someone notice exactly when I'm doing what, and so that was, So all I needed to say was I'm not comfortable with that. Could we work something else out?
Right, instead of being angry at me
for
making even the request. Or in nonviolent communication, you're supposed to be allowed. How dare you ask me that?
Right. I don't know who you are.
But you have no right. Right? How could you ask? I've been with relationships where I'm really afraid to ask. Bam! If you ask, don't you ask? You just do. So I'm really lucky, at least for the first year, at least, and this is now recorded, that Michelle is at least intellectually and emotionally committed to allowing me to make requests and not insisting that her requests be honored, right?
Yeah, I think that's important.
Yes. Until your true goddess nature comes through and Mikey, I want you to do this and I want it now. Well, there's a wonderful story which I've told you once, and this is going to do me in.
Okay.
So Noel Coward, the playwright, calls Richard Burton, the great actor, who's in Antony and Cleopatra, married Elizabeth Taylor. And he said, Richard, I just wrote a play and I'd like you to play the leading role. It could have been the play we saw, which was called, it was a wonderful play. I forget what the name was. Do you remember it?
That we saw
Blithe Spirit. Spirit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So he calls, he says, Richard, I'd like you to play that wonderful role as the husband in Blithe Spirit, with the two women, one dead and one alive. And Richard said, I'd be happy to. And what does it pay? And Noel Coward said, I can pay you $100 a week. And Richard Burton says, Noel, I make more than that in an hour. In fact, more than that in a minute sometimes. And Noel Coward says, do you remember?
I'd still like you to do it, or...
I want you to want to do this and be delighted. I want you to tell me right now how happy you'll be to do my play for $100 a week. That you really, really are delighted to do that, and the salary is great considering the opportunity to be in my play. And Richard Burton says, wow, you took the words right out of my mouth. No, yes, oh, I'm so happy, and it's a great honor to do this. So that you could ask, too.
Yes.
I want you to really, really, really want to get that lettuce. Now, I want you to realize there's nothing that would make you happier after teaching 6 hours and to go in the cold and get that lettuce, and it'll be good for your fever. And you look forward to being healed by nice, green, crispy lettuce.
That's smart.
I knew this would be the end of it. This is it. I've revealed on television now. What you also have to say is, because we have these guidelines or these tools, Noel Coward, just to say, or just Noel or Coward.
All right. Well, yeah. So some of the, let's see, I'm not sure how to go about this, but I'm remembering way back when there was some point where you were upset and I didn't quite know what to do, and what I ended up doing was, I remember reaching deep down, and what I did was I started writing. Something with you sitting at the table, I started writing, I think, mourning the loss of something not happening that we wanted to, something about that, and getting points. I had points at that point for all these different things. So it was mourning the loss
of not receiving a request in a gracious manner.
Yeah, yeah, that would be mourning the loss, giving something a good grief and a good death in some ways, of something didn't happen, which I think our culture could learn a lot from. How to grieve. Thinking of 911 actually, and instead of shopping, to learn how to grieve the loss. So yeah, what some of this notebook has, so what happened was, after writing out these things that came to mind, and a lot of it was because of nonviolent communication. So it was giving points for sharing honestly, or giving a point for making a request, and also points for mourning, being willing to mourn the loss of not having done that. And then you actually turned the points into kisses, which that's really wonderful. Really wonderful. So we have in here sharing honestly, and we have a lot filled out here that we each at different times were willing to share honestly. And
So we don't do this anymore, but it was very nice. I was seduced. I'm a teacher. She had a notebook. If I asked for something, she'd say, "Oh yes, let's celebrate that you asking for what you want. Yes. Let me give you a kiss."
But that's a foundation.
Yeah, it was a good foundation.
There is a foundation.
It was foundation. When's the last entry? 521.
All right. Of that one.
No, that last
518.
Yeah, it made it. We met in March. The last weekend in March. It made it. This made it from 4
July.
July. What was that? What does that say?
Asked for application of Life Alive and got one.
Oh, I see. Oh yes. I wanted. Oh yes. Michelle was shy to ask for things, and she asked, and I gave, and she wrote it down. And did you get a kiss for that? Probably not.
Right. It's not checked off. I didn't get a kiss.
Okay. Something in June. Yes.
Yep, something in June.
Yes. We only have a minute and a half.
Okay, all right. But I think for me this has been incredibly helpful. It makes me more comfortable to make a request, and also to mourn that there is something about it. It happens. You wish you had done something a certain way, and mourning the loss of that.
That's very nice. I don't.
That we got what we wanted when we asked. Sometimes understanding there's a distinction between asking for what you want and then actually getting what you want, and that's so amazing when you do get what you want. So.
We have 45 seconds to give them one example. Also would be interested, what would be one thing you asked for and got?
I got what I wanted.
That's written big letters. I got what I wanted.
Excellent. That you were willing to talk casual this evening, and I felt satisfied.
So we had just casual conversation?
Yeah, I guess we had a casual conversation.
And you wanted, I remember you wanted, we were learning, yes, how to have we were learning how to have casual conversation because I am a teacher of philosophy and poetry. And we were just having, maybe we can't have it with you now because it's almost over. It is, thank you very much.
Yes.
I celebrate the fact that we did this. Well, that's our first